because of the clients I work with, shame is a really big terminology and a big thing we work with a lot. And almost all my clients have complex PTSD. And shame is like a really big element to either stuff in their trauma or to the way they survived their trauma. And it's really interesting when we try to get our hands around shame, because it feels like such an intricate part of who they are, and it feels like such a hard, or some people have described it as gross or pervasive part of who they are. So my job as a trauma clinician is to start to separate out the person, the core, and the shame, because they're not one and the same, even if they feel that way. And so for a lot of my clients, they'll hear me use the phrase like the shame monster, because that's what it feels like to them. It feels like a monster. And that idea of starting to separate them out, we do that with visuals. So like, what does your shame monster look like? How old are they? How big are they? How do they operate? How do they move? And I know these sound like abstract questions, but like once you ask people these questions, they have very quick responses, because they've lived with this shame monster for a really long time. So if this is something that resonates with you, I would encourage you to think about like, what does my shame monster look like? What does it sound like? What does it feel like? And then let's build from there.